I wasn't supposed to be watching. It was one of those nights where the silence of the house pressed too close, where sleep wouldn't come no matter how long I stared at the ceiling. My wife, Emily, was away on a work trip for the week. She had kissed me goodbye at the door, suitcase in hand, promising she'd call once she checked into the hotel. She did. She even sent a photo of her room. Neatly made bed, city skyline out the window, the usual business travel cliché. But that night, scrolling aimlessly on my laptop to fill the hollow, I stumbled onto a streaming site I didn't even remember bookmarking. The kind you know you shouldn't look at when you're married, but curiosity sometimes wins. That's when my heart stopped. On the screen, framed in soft pink lighting, was a woman in lingerie, laughing, playful, drawing in comments from strangers paying for her attention. And even though the makeup was heavier, even though her hair was styled differently, I knew her. I knew the shape of her mouth, the curve of her collarbone. I knew the small scar just above her right hip, the one she'd gotten falling off her bike as a kid. It was Emily, my wife. For a full minute, I couldn't breathe. My hand hovered over the trackpad, frozen. Maybe it was someone who just looked like her. Maybe I was losing it. But then she leaned forward, close to the camera, and whispered in the exact same teasing tone she used with me when she wanted something. "Don't be shy, boys. Tell me what you want." The blood drained from my face. I slammed the laptop shut, heart hammering. The sound of it echoed through the empty living room. I sat there in the dark, head in my hands, rocking slightly like a man trying to convince himself he hadn't just seen what he'd seen. She was supposed to be at a conference 2 states away. She was supposed to be in bed, exhausted from meetings. And yet there she was, streaming herself for strangers. I didn't call her. Not right away. Instead, I lay awake until dawn, staring at the ceiling, battling with thoughts that cut me open from the inside. Maybe it was recorded earlier. Maybe it wasn't live. Maybe, God help me, maybe she needed money she was too ashamed to ask me for. But the chat had mentioned her name. Not Emily, but the nickname I'd once used for her when we were dating, something silly and intimate. She hadn't used it in years. And seeing it typed out by a stranger felt like a knife in my chest. The next day, I tried to act normal. I went to work, answered emails, smiled at coworkers. But everything felt unreal, like I was trapped in someone else's skin. At lunch, I pulled out my phone and checked the site again. She was live. Same room. Same laugh. Only this time, she was wearing the necklace I had given her for our anniversary. I wanted to throw up. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I created a fake account, something anonymous. My fingers shook as I typed the first message into the chat box. "Does your husband know?" For a moment, she froze. Just a flicker, so small most people wouldn't have noticed. Then she smiled wider, like nothing had touched her. "Some secrets are fun to keep," she said, winking at the camera. I slammed the laptop shut again, while rising in my throat. When she called that night, her voice was light. "Hey babe. Long day. Just finished dinner with the team. How are you?" I gripped the phone so hard my knuckles went white. "Fine. Just missed you." "I'll be back Friday," she said, softening. "Promise we'll have a nice weekend. Just you and me." The hypocrisy in her tone made my skin crawl, but I swallowed the rage. I needed more proof. More than just a hunch and a scar on a screen. The following nights were a blur. Each time I logged in, I saw more of her. More lies wrapped in lace and sold to strangers. She laughed, teased, whispered, all the things she used to save just for me. And the comments from men scrolled endlessly. Crude, desperate, hungry. It wasn't just the betrayal of her body. It was the betrayal of intimacy. She was giving away pieces of us, of what we had built, to anyone who could afford it. By Thursday night, I couldn't take it anymore. I logged into the chat again, heart pounding, and typed something that made my vision blur as I hit send. "I'm your husband. And I'm watching." The screen seemed to freeze. Her eyes widened, her smile faltered. For the first time all week, the mask slipped. She stared into the camera, and I knew she knew. Then, without a word, the stream cut off. The phone rang 2 minutes later. "Michael," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Please. Don't overreact. I can explain." "Explain?" My laugh came out raw, broken. "You told me you were at a conference, Emily." You said you were working late dinners with the team. But you were here. Selling yourself online. To strangers. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think, I snapped, pacing the living room like a caged animal. You lied. You lied to my face every night. Do you know what it's like to watch the woman you love, my wife, turn herself into a fantasy for other men? Do you know what that does to me? Her silence cut deeper than any words. Finally, she said, I wanted to feel wanted again. You've been so busy. So distracted. It wasn't supposed to mean anything. Just money. Just attention. I sank into the couch, shaking. You could have talked to me. You could have said you felt lonely. But instead, you sold what was ours. What was sacred. Her sob broke through the line. I didn't think you'd understand. You're right, I whispered. I don't. When she came home Friday, she tried to hug me. I stepped back. The bags under her eyes, the trembling of her hands. They told me she had spent the last 2 days dreading this moment. But my heart had already hardened. I can't unsee it, Emily, I said, voice low. Every time I close my eyes, I see you on that screen. Laughing for them. Teasing them. Wearing the necklace I gave you. I loved you more than my own life, but you buried that love under lies. Tears slid down her cheeks. Please, Michael. Don't give up on us. I shook my head. You gave up first. That night, I packed a bag and left. I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. The anger had burned out, leaving only ash. As I closed the door behind me, I felt the weight of a decade together shatter like glass. Sometimes betrayal isn't a single moment. It's a slow unthreading of